You know how property and casualty insurance is just so easy, and that's why everyone just loves it. I mean, all you do is you bring on a customer, you sign them up, and then you just get paid for the rest of your life, right? I mean, that's all you have to do. It's so easy. You just build a book of business, and voila, you're a millionaire. I mean, they never call for service, right? You don't get any emails or text messages Sunday at 2 in the morning, right? You know, that's what people told me when I first got in the business, and I was wondering if you might have that same experience. Now, there are some things you can do to make the entire experience easier for your customer, which will in turn make things easier for you. And that is what I want to talk about in this episode. And we're going to call that removing the friction from the property and casualty business. Hey everybody, it's your host here, Dave Baker with Planet of the Agents. Now, if this is your first time on the YouTube channel or in the podcast, then you know that you've got to click that subscribe button and the like button. And of course, whatever platform you're using, make sure that you click the little plus sign so that you can get notified every time I put out a new episode of Planet of the Agents, the Ultimate Insurance Agents podcast. Now, I do, as always, want to remind you that you can sign up for my newsletter with my insights and whatever else is excitingly going on in the insurance industry, and you can easily do that by going to planetoftheagents.com. You can also find my contact information there in case you want to reach out. But make sure to sign up for the newsletter because, you know, I put some work into that, and I want to share things with you. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? It is something very exciting, and that is trying to reduce friction at your insurance agency. All right, so what is friction? Friction is all of the things that make the process of doing something more difficult, right? As an agent, you probably experience this, I don't know, can I say every day? I think of all the times I try to log into a website and I can't get online. Or the fact that I have to click through 6 different links just to open the part of a policy or the thing that I'm trying to view. I mean, think about how hard it is with some of the carrier websites where you have to do something like log in, and of course you have to do your multi-factor authentication, so you're kind of logging in again, which is reasonable, that's okay. Then you have to search for a policy, then you have to perhaps click to a billing screen, and then it loads another window, which means it's probably pulling data from another location. Or you have to click to a document screen or another screen. There's no easy way to find the item that you're looking for. You just want an ID card or a deck page. All of these things that are slowing you down are friction. So you're going to keep doing them because you need what the company is offering, right? For example, if you need to download an ID card or a declarations page, well, guess what? You need it. You're going to do it. You've been asked by a customer to do it, or you just need it for your files or whatnot. But what can a customer who's shopping for insurance do? Well, they'll just go somewhere else. They will follow the path of least resistance, most likely. Of course, I know there are some cases where people are just in love with a challenge, right? But when you go shopping, particularly online, you probably do that because it's easy, right? So the more friction and more things that delay your customers from being able to achieve what they want to probably does not help your business, but also it doesn't make your life any easier and it might make it harder. So let's look at a very simplistic example. Let's say that a customer wants what I said, an ID card or just a document, a deck page for a general liability policy or whatnot. If it was easy, they would go to a web page, click something right after they log in, and then voila, they would see exactly what they were looking for. They would log in, it would say something like download your documents, they would click it and it would be done. Are your customers able to do that? Or is there more friction? Well, think about this. What if they could actually do that? That would make it easier. So what's your current process? Is the current process, well, they call you on the phone, they go through a menu system, they potentially wait on hold, they have somebody else answer the phone, then that person has to see if you're available. Maybe they have to transfer them. There are all these different steps. Now, you'll have to ask who it is, get their information, hopefully verify who they are, log in, then you have to go through all those steps we just described to get to the thing you're looking for. You'll then have to send them an email. It might go into their junk mail. Maybe you'll have to fax it somewhere. So all of these things could have been done easier by the customer or the client, whatever term you want to use. Or what if someone just needs to send you one little piece of information? Do you make it easy for them? Let's say they want to send you a VIN or an updated address, or they want to request some sort of change. How easy do you make it? Do they have to call you on the phone in 2022? Have you ever looked at your phone and compared how much time you spend on the actual telephone versus the number of messages you have? I mean, all your messages, right? Emails, text messages, DMs, IMs, whatever term people are using today. Each one of those things is a major shift. Okay, so what I'm saying is you used to use the phone, and today you use some form of digital messaging. And that's logical. And don't you think your customers want to do that too? So what if you made it easier? Instead of them calling you to start the process for something, or to request a document, or to start the process of requesting a change, or just to request a change or an endorsement, what if they were able to fill out a quick form on your webpage? Well, that would be easier. What if they could send you an email? Well, they can probably send you an email, but they won't know what information to give you because they probably don't work in the insurance industry. Even something as simple as adding a new location somewhere for general liability, or adding a car. For some reason, people don't know they need to send you the VIN or the mileage or the date of purchase. Adding a location for general liability, they don't know they need to maybe send you the square footage, the gross sales, the gross receipts. Who knows what they need to send you? They don't know. You know. Now, what if they could send you a text message? Did you know text messaging is incredibly popular? Whenever I bring up text messaging, people say things to me like, I don't know if my customers want to send text messages. Well, have you asked? Have you asked them if they want to send text messages? Do you not think that most people are sending some form of electronic message? Some people send messages through Facebook Messenger. Some people use WhatsApp on their web pages. There's all kinds of communications. There's online chat. But the point is that what if you could make it easier? And the easier method could be setting up a system where they could send you a text message, where it would have an autoresponder built into it. They write the word change or endorsement, which they're not likely to know that term. They write some kind of keyword, right? And then that triggers a response and it sends back the questions, like very easily. That could, again, make it easier. Then you would receive that information in your inbox. The client feels like they've done their part. You get your information. And you can do this with email or an online web form as well. So all of these things help you reduce some of the friction in the agency. Now, there are a lot of things that are out of your control, right? Like carrier websites, the processes, filling out 20-page supplementals, trying to scan documents that people don't send back by email for some reason. There are just so many different things. But this is one step you can do to reduce friction. You can make it very easy for the customer to communicate with you so that you don't have the burden of taking additional phone calls and they feel like it's a modern process. And I want you to think about this. If you're looking to scale up your business, one thing I had to deal with was the fact that I can only handle so many phone calls a day. Let's say you talk on the phone for an average of 20 minutes per call. And you should know how long your average phone call is, by the way. But let's say it's 20 minutes. Well, then you'll need a 5-minute mental break or 10 minutes to get back to what you were doing or actually process the thing you were just discussing. Well, how many of those calls can you take in a day? I mean, you do also need to maybe drink some water, step away from the desk for a moment. You can't take that many. But when you have the digital process, it's much easier because multiple people can contact you simultaneously, actually. That's the key thing. For example, I could be sitting at my desk, I could make 5 or 6 quotes and receive 10 new messages. And in my case, I try to distribute them as much as I can. But in your case, it might be just a chance for you to let people know that you've received their request while you're doing something else. Now, I'm not saying that multitasking is the best thing in the world, but at least you've got the line of communication open with the person with the request, whether it's an online lead, whether it's a change request, something like that. The key takeaway here is that you want to make things easier. You want to make them easier for 2 people, for you and for the consumer, for the end user of your product, the customer, right? People are looking to do things easily. Now, I realize not every single thing can be answered by email. Not every single question can be answered by text message. Not everything is going to be easy. But can a majority of them, will it make your life better? This is what I'm always thinking about. How can I make my life better? We want to eat healthier, drink more water, make the insurance business easier. You know, these are all little things. So that's why I wanted to make this episode, because I have been talking to several people lately who told me that they get so many phone calls in a day. Well, when I was full-time retail agent, there was a time when we received almost 120 phone calls a day. That was very, very, very overwhelming. When we introduced text messaging and started sending out notifications about online forms, it really made a difference. And I think it helped a lot to reduce stress and to make it easier to complete tasks. So that's the big takeaway here. Let's make it as easy as possible, because our side of the industry is not very efficient. It's not very easy. Some things that are being done today were probably done in 1986 or earlier. I just picked that year somewhat arbitrarily, but that's the reality of it. I recently saw a supplemental application that said last revised in 1992. 1992. What were you doing in 1992? Were you alive in 1992? Did you play with a Rubik's Cube, or did you go to Blockbuster Video to rent a video? Did you use the Yellow Pages to look up someone's phone number? Yeah, that's the industry you work in. But you know what? That's okay, because what it is, and I always like to remind myself of this, is that it gives us stability. And now is a good time to be thinking about how great it is that you have stability in this business. Okay, now, reach out to me. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment below. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about in another episode. If you're listening on a podcast or on one of those platforms, leave a comment below too. You know what? Why not click the 5 stars? It would make my day. If you're on YouTube, click the thumbs up. All right, everybody. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And of course, you know that I cannot wait to talk to you in the next episode. Let me know what you'd like to hear about. Let me know what topics you want me to address, and we'll go from there. Take care, everyone. Can't wait to see you again.